starting to come out, and I'm only just started to come out. Ahmadinejad says the Mahdi is ready to speak, and he's now starting to listen to the one he thinks is that person, and that is me. And he's very shocked at some of the things I'm saying over the internet now. I just started. You can tune in to me at the facebook.com/ABC Desmond, which is somewhat unheard of. I'm getting into Nostradamus. He has a lot of answers that supply me with answers. The war is by George Bush, basically, except there are many players behind him, and some of those players were moved by players behind them, and I was one of those players, and I was on a side, but there are many such sides to the players behind Bush.
Okay, well, when you bring up things like Nostradamus, you know, you start talking about the nonsense about being able to predict the future, and it takes away the credibility of other things you're saying. It shows that you aren't using very good, clear judgment. You don't reason very clearly. If you're going to give Nostradamus any credibility at all, then you're, you know.
Okay, I don't have to do that.
Okay.
You can jump over that entirely. I'll do that on my other program that I just mentioned.
Okay, well.
On your program, I can completely avoid it. If you want me to.
The point is, though, if somebody's going to think of you as a source of good information, you're going to have to be more consistent.
Well, the main thing is, let's look at who benefits from 9/11.
Yeah.
Are you accusing me of not being consistent?
Well.
You said I'll have to be more consistent. It sounds like you're accusing me of not being consistent.
I think I laid it out pretty clearly that if you're a proponent of Nostradamus being able to predict the future, then that's being way inconsistent with any sort of reality. And I guess we'll take it from there. Hey, you can. My email's on.
Inconsistent with reality. Okay, you're saying then.
I'm saying that there is no such thing as predicting.
You're avoiding the accusation that you accused me of something.
What?
Just why don't you guys take this conversation elsewhere?
I was going to say my email's at the end of this. It's 251omega@comcast.net, and if you'd like to continue this further, I'd be glad to.
May 7, 1950.
Thank you, caller.
Lusitania was sung by German sub.
That's true. Okay, thanks, caller.
Anyway, we were talking about who benefits from 9/11, and I mean, the war machine definitely benefited. All the contractors who made, put together weapons and sell weapons, they were the huge beneficiaries.
That's exactly true. Now, the thing is, though, the entire anti-terrorist war that we're running, it's got to be said in quotes, because there is no terrorist threat to the world or to us.
Well, we have nuclear bombs when you think about it. Who would knock on our door and threaten us?
That's the threat to the world, really.
Look what we did to Japan. I mean, don't mess with us. We will drop an atom bomb on you. So really, are we really under threat from any other country?
We're not in danger from anybody. We have one more call. I guess we'll go ahead and take that call. I was going to run a David Chandler video, but it's about 10 minutes long. We're getting close. Go ahead, caller.
We got time.
I'll make it quick. First, where can I get one of those T-shirts?
Oh, this is from the Alex Jones website, prisonplanet.tv or something. Yeah, this is his trademark, but I'm not affiliated with him. He's one of those guys that he's been pretty good on 9/11, but he gets off into things like the global warming as a complete scam. Right. That's going to take away credibility from him because just a quick aside, if anybody's abusing the global warming thing, that might be happening, but the fact that it's a man-made event is now beyond anybody's argument, and the people that do argue are being false or worse.
Well, what I like to do is just call it pollution, because we can all agree we're polluting the planet. So why don't we just call it pollution?
Actually, it's global climate change is the big thing. People look at, it's getting cold. Does that seem like it's warmer to you? What ignorance?
Let's all work
pure
on
ignorance.
Cleaning up pollution. But yeah, we do want to do a clip.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, thanks, caller. And in the control room, that number 2 clip, the David Chandler one on terrorism, if that's ready to rock and roll, go ahead and cut it loose. He explains exactly what I mean about I don't think there's any terrorism threat. Here we go.
And I have a few things I want to say about terrorism. This is something that has annoyed me for quite a while to even talk the language. I don't believe we have a terrorism problem in the world that's very significant, and I definitely don't think there's anything justifying a war on terror. I think it's a scam. And I want to go to some statistics here to back up what I'm trying to say. Up until 2001, we didn't even have a classification for terrorism in the cause of death in the mortality tables. So if you look up mortality statistics prior to 2001, they don't even list terrorism. Basically, terrorism is a form of homicide, and up until then it was just considered homicide. But as of 2001, they actually created a new classification. If it's the designation is U01 in the official ICD, that's International Classification of Diseases, code for mortality and morbidity. And U01 is the classification for homicide associated with terrorism. Okay. Now, in 2001, of course, there were a lot of terrorist deaths for U.S. citizens. Namely, 2001, they list 2,922, all related to 9/11, all of them occurring on 9/11. In 2002, they list 1. Now, that was also indicated that it was aircraft related, so I don't know if it was perhaps like one other temporary survivor from 9/11 who died over the year into 2002, or if this is a separate incident, so I really don't know. 2003, 0. 2004, 0. By the way, I'm going to pause there a second. Anthrax, you all probably remember the anthrax scare and so forth. Well, it says we had, the CDC reported 18 confirmed cases, 5 suspected cases, and a total of 5 people killed by anthrax in 2001. Notice something is those are not included in the terrorism statistics. So here's deaths by something that was an agent that was, as far as I'm concerned, as qualifying of being called terrorism as what happened on 9/11, and yet those were not considered, they were not tabulated as deaths by terrorism. So I don't know why those didn't get counted. I also don't know why the anthrax situation didn't get investigated. It was pretty clear that it came out of U.S. weapons labs, and therefore one would tend to suspect that it would be inside people, and there's probably fairly few people with access. And so if anybody wanted to go down the list and figure out which one of those people was involved, it would be a pretty straightforward investigative type of a thing. So I have no idea why that was dumped, unless it was somebody inconveniently close to somebody in power. Who knows? Okay, in 2005, they changed the definition of terrorism, and they changed the agency that reported it. So the statistics initially go from 2001 to 2004. In 2005, I'm not quite sure, but they shuffle things around, and so now we have 56 deaths due to terrorism in 2005, and 28 deaths due to terrorism in 2006. Well, here's a breakdown of where the terrorist events occurred in 2005. Now, by the way, these are terrorism deaths of private U.S. citizens, and it's listed by the country in which it occurred. Afghanistan, 1. This is 2005. Egypt, 2. Iraq, 47. Israel, Gaza, and West Bank, 1. Jordan, 4. The UK, 1. And the territorial United States, 0. Okay. 2006, there were 28. Of those, Afghanistan, 3. Iraq, 22. Israel, Gaza, and West Bank, 1. Pakistan, 1. Thailand, 1. Territorial United States, 0. So in other words, there's only 1 death since 9/11, and that may have been related to 9/11. It's unclear. only one death